Player props here on PrizePicks. One MLB, one WNBA player prop. Yesterday's plays went 1-1. We took Jordan Canada over fantasy. She didn't play well at all. And then Brianna Stewart, we took her over fantasy. She cashed. So 1-1 yesterday. Again, looking to bounce back today. Two player props, one from MLB, one WNBA. Again, link in the description below. Hop into our premium Discord, $9.03 per month, 31 cents per day. Again, where I post all the plays I'm making on PrizePicks. Again, NFL season, NBA season on the way. Great time, you guys, if you're into prop betting. But nonetheless, let's just get into this. Two player props. First one is going to be a hitter fantasy score, MLB, and I'm looking at Ellie De La Cruz over 8.5. I think anytime you see Ellie at 8.5, it has a strong chance to bump to 9. I would still play this at 9, honestly, but 8.5 is some elite value in my opinion. I'm trying to get this video out as soon as possible. But Ellie De La Cruz this season at home, over in 30 of 63 games at this line. But to go over to hits, runs, plus RBIs, his line is at 1.5, heavily juiced on the over, minus 150 on DraftKings. If you filter this to at home versus right-handed pitchers, he's over in 20 of 40. But the hits, runs, plus RBIs and essentially his hitting stats don't fully attribute to his fantasy score line because of his stolen base capabilities. I mean, stolen base is 5 points, right? If he gets a single, steals a base, and scores a run, he hits the over on this line. But like I said, it's a great matchup versus Mitch Spence, right-handed pitcher. Usually Ellie, somewhat of an auto play when he is facing a righty. He's hitting 283 versus righties, 144 WRC plus. WRC plus, yes. Mitch Spence, 4.26 ERA to left-handed hitters, but 258 batting average and then a .324 WOBA. But these pitch arsenal matchup for Ellie De La Cruz is what I'm looking at here. Against the cutter, which Mitch Spence throws 39.4% of the time, Ellie hitting .458 WOBA, and then against the sinker, which Mitch Spence throws 14% of the time, .528 WOBA. Right, so we're talking about his slider he hits .312, but 39, 14, pitches that he throws over 50%, he's hitting .458 and a .528 WOBA versus those pitches. Now, Mitch Spence much worse on the road compared to at home. 5.63 ERA on the road, 135 WHIP, lower Ks per 9 innings, etc., etc. 3 walks per 9 innings as well. Just a variety of ways for Ellie De La Cruz, I think, to clear this line at 8.5. Mitch Spence, if you take a look here at his, baseball savant, fastball velo lower percentile, whiff rate lower percentile, hard hit lower percentile as well, off-speed run value lower percentile. And again, this is all him, being home or away, but we know he's much weaker on the road. And then a home game for the Reds. We know the Reds ballpark, 5th best ballpark in baseball as far as park factor goes. I mean, actually the 4th best. We're not counting London. So, Reds park, very small. We know it attributes greatly to hitters and their fantasy scores. So, I like Ellie De La Cruz over 8.5 hitter fantasy scores. The first play. The second play is going to be WNBA first half prop fantasy score, and it's going to be Chelsea Gray. I've been taking this play in the Discord. It's been pretty profitable. If you take a look at Chelsea Gray, this season she's over in 10 of 17 games, right? She's actually over in 8 of her last 8 matchups versus the Dallas Wings, and she actually just had 13.6 fantasy versus them back here on July 7th. But, 10 of 17 games this season, she's averaging 11.26 fantasy in the first half. Essentially over her last 10. She's over in 7 of her last 10, averaging 12.4. But if you go back to last season, she's over this line in 47 of 49 games last season, including the playoffs. This is her first half fantasy score line at 11. So I think it's just an elite value. If she plays 11 plus minutes, this has a great floor. And then it's just the matchup's too good. The matchup, she averages a little bit more production on the road as well this season, seeing definitely some more minutes. But like I said, the Dallas Wings allow the most assists in the WNBA, as well as the most points in the WNBA, and they have the worst defensive rating in the NBA. It's not even close. I think they're on pace for the worst defensive rating of all time. Right? The worst defensive rating all time. The Dallas Wings, they allow the most points in the paint. Just literally every defensive metric, the Dallas Wings rank at the bottom in the league. Chelsea Gray being the point guard, if she can get us 1 to 2 steals, I think this line's just too low for her. Like I said, guys, 47 to 49 games last season she hit the over on this line. So 2 player props for this video: Ellie, Chelsea Gray. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about these two. Links in the description below. Drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.